Yo, what up, y'all? You know what it is. You know who it is. It's your man's and him, your uncle. Hostile Takeover, back with another Charger conversation. Man, this one is a little different topic than what I've been talking about. But it's important to what I've been talking about. So let's get into it. No bullshit, no long intros, let's go. The debt ceiling is about to fuck everything up. Everything. So, if you don't know how the debt ceiling works, the Senate Majority Leader and the President sit down and come to an agreement about how much more money we're going to spend that we don't fucking have. Alright? That's the gist of it. Here's the problem. These motherfuckers can't agree on where the money should go. Or how much. So, basically, Kevin McCarthy and Jim Crow 2.0 Joe are arguing over something that doesn't exist, and this country's about to run out of it. We have about 8 days. We have about a week before everything's fucked and nobody gets paid. So, this happens to every president. Every president has a debt ceiling decision to make. But as usual, and I say this wholeheartedly because I'm an Army vet, Republicans swear up and down that they give a fuck about veterans. They don't. All they give a fuck about is defense spending and making sure that we spend more on our military than the next 25 countries combined. Actually, no. Not combined, I'm sorry. Than the next 11 countries combined. 11 countries right below us, we spend more on our military than they do combined. And yes, that includes China and Russia. They want to decrease overall spending but increase military spending. Now, the other problem with that is that money doesn't even go directly to the airmen, the sailors, the soldiers, and the Marines, and the Coast Guard. It does not. It goes to contractors. It goes to Raytheon. It goes to Lockheed. It goes to Boeing. So that they can keep developing bullshit weapons that we don't really fucking need. Jim Crow 2.0 Joe, he wants to spend it on social programs, which sounds cool in and of itself. If you take that statement in a vacuum, it sounds cool, but it's not. Because if you look at the social programs that he wants to spend it on, they don't really help. He wants to keep COVID relief money in the spending budget. For what? We're already back to normal. We're already back to, pre-COVID levels of traffic, people in public, shit like that. So, I don't get it. I just don't. And most of the programs that would actually help everyday Americans and real people, that ain't where he wants to spend money. And it just doesn't make sense on either side to me. Either side. Like, Republicans want to cut VA spending. So what they're saying is that if you're not a government contractor or a defense contractor, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't even give a fuck about the soldiers, the active duty soldiers. They don't give a fuck. The active duty enlisted military members, they don't give a fuck about them. They ain't trying to make life easier for military spouses when guys are deployed. None of that shit. Also included in that bill, Biden wants to pledge another $375 billion to the Ukraine. Fucking really? The Ukraine, nigga? Why is it? And here's what it is. That actually doesn't have shit to do with the Ukraine other than Russia's trying to take over a white country. That's about it. What it's really about is BRICS. If Russia gains more and more a bigger and bigger foothold in Europe, they get to expand their economy, which makes them more attractive to China, Brazil, and the countries that they're trying to add to BRICS, like Venezuela. Venezuela sits on the largest amount of undrilled oil in South America. And we've been placing sanctions on them for decades. Everybody says socialism doesn't work. Look at Venezuela. Socialism doesn't work in Venezuela because the U.S. won't fucking let it. It's like operating under a lower salary cap than the rest of the league. Like, let's say, take any team, my favorite team, the Lakers. Say they had a lower salary cap than the rest of the league. How the fuck are they supposed to win? Yeah, they just lost again, and they're out of the playoffs. Who cares? I'm a Laker fan, but for me, it just, only bring it up because, for an example, in this context, if the Lakers aren't allowed to spend the same amount of money as the rest of the league, they're going to lose. That's what's happening to Venezuela. But BRICS is trying to get Venezuela to join, not only for the oil, but they're pitching anti-USA shit because the USA has been fucking them over for the last 30-something years. Because they won't do what the fuck the US wants them to do, basically. And the Republicans want to increase military spending and get all this shit because we don't have the largest army in the largest military in the world. We're actually number 3 behind Russia and China. They both have larger person for person militaries than we do. We just spend more because we spend more on equipment. We are technologically, we're the most advanced military on the planet. And that's how the Republicans want to keep our foothold in the world. Instead of actually working with people, we want to be able to threaten people. Long story short, shit's fucked. And if they don't come to an agreement before then, the USA will default on its debts to China. China owns over 50% of our debt. Not the deficit per se, the debt, the overall debt. China owns over 50% of that shit. So basically, someone who is trying to take us down economically owns our debt. It's not a good thing. And these motherfuckers aren't even actually trying to lower that debt. They're just trying to let it accumulate. They're just trying to slow down the rate that it accumulates at. That's really all that's going on. The national debt will not go down. Hell, it probably won't even, to be honest, it probably won't even lower the budget deficit, which is what adds to the overall debt. Let's keep it a buck. Shit is just fucked up, and there's nothing that these motherfuckers are even trying to do about it. Like, not at all. Shit's fucking crazy, man. Shit's fucking crazy. But how does this affect what I usually talk about, which is, you know, man shit, leveling up, whatever. You can't level up with no money. You just can't. And eventually they'll straighten it out. They always do. But if they don't, it fucks up the money. It fucks up, it'll fuck up the interest rates. It'll fuck with a lot of shit that will keep you from being the best version of you. Financially, anyway. Like, yeah, you'll still be able to go out and, you know, learn a new skill or whatever the fuck. But when the country's money is fucked up, your money is fucked up. Period. It's not up for debate. And again, technically, money doesn't even fucking exist. People are like, oh, I have money in my pocket. No, you don't. You have cash in your pocket. Cash is not money. It's a promissory note. If you look at any bill, it says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. It's barely worth the ink and the paper. Barely. It's not worth anything more than that, other than the value, the imaginary value that can go up or down at any given time that the rest of the world puts on it. If all the other countries in the world say, fuck you, we ain't taking your money no more, which isn't going to happen right now or anytime soon, but say it did happen. If all the other countries in the world said, fuck you, we ain't taking your money no more, the dollar instantly becomes fucking worthless. And that's what BRICS is about. They're trying to devalue the dollar through oil. But that's a whole nother fucking story. But basically, the country's about to run out of something that doesn't exist, and we never really had to begin with. So it's all fucked. It's all fucked. How it plays out depends on who is willing to give up something to make an agreement. Will it happen before or after the country, you know, defaults? Fuck, I don't know. I can't even begin to speculate, but it's just important because that's what's going on now, and it will affect our personal money if the country defaults. So that's just the long and the short of it. If you want to get into it deeper, let me know. I do have some more talking points and I can do a lot more research, but if that's something you want to discuss, let me know in the comments and I'll do a part 2. All right? As always, middle fingers up, put 2 fingers in your ass, spread them apart, say peace.